Thursday, actually a Monday, but you won't see it till Thursday. Kirk Wilden, Tommy Abney, we're back at it again. I guess we're to episode 2 now.
Yep.
Tommy went to the Arsenal. He's whipped out some big boys for you guys tonight. So, Tommy, what's up?
Same old, just another Monday, man.
What we gonna drink tonight?
We got a little rising tides, dude. So, you guys know me. I'm big into craft distilleries, craft blenders. I think that some of the best values in bourbons are your single barrels. So the mastermind behind Rising Tides is Ed Blay. Ed's famous for all of his single barrel picks. Worked with a company called Cork and Bottle in Northern Kentucky for a number of years. Done over 250 single barrel picks. He revived or started an old brand back up, Old Stubborn. They actually have their third release out now. What we're going to drink through today is their second release of Old Stubborn, and then this year's release of Old Swagger.
Correct.
Great mash bills. We'll get into that. We'll talk kind of what what we're getting on the bourbons and kind of the differentials between them. But we're drinking one single barrel, which is the Old Stubborn. And the Old Swagger is going to be a blended product that is a 13-year-old blend, bottle and bond.
Awesome. I guess start number 1. What about these damn bottles, man?
Oh, dude. So I know it won't pick up on camera, but if you'll take that one, Kirk, take the old Stubborn.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Turn that bottle up so they can see the glass work in the bottom of it.
I don't know if it's hitting real good on camera, but guys, I'll be honest with you. There's some cool bottles out there, but I don't know if there's any that trump these. And I did a little research, kind of getting ready for today. 14 minutes go into each bottle to blow the glass, to blow the shape of the glass, and obviously what's inside the glass. I was trying to show you guys is actually their logo down inside, but I mean 14 minutes for each one of these. And we were visiting Brooks Green and I were actually up at Revival in Covington, Kentucky not too long ago, and what's our buddy Brad Barnes?
Yep, Brad Barnes.
At Revival is big buddies with Ed Blay, and I think he was telling us, I think they had to buy like $100,000 or $200,000 worth of this glass before they'll actually ship it to them and make it for them. So yeah, starting off, man, if the whiskey, and I've had a little bit of this, I haven't had any of this, if the whiskey's as good as the bottle is, man, we're in for a real treat. So,
well, I'll tell you, their first release, the bottles were cool. It was decanter style rib, looked like a mid-century modern decanter, but the cork stopper on it was just garbage. And Ed got a lot of complaints. He complained a lot about the first 2 releases that they went through. Still got a little of those at home. If you ever come across an old school pot still Old Stubborn from release 1, they had a wheated and the traditional non-wheated mash bill. Guys, pick those up. They're phenomenal. Very hard to come by. These are still pretty hard to come by, but you can seek them out. We've saw them in a couple of retail stores when we did some picks up in Kentucky. Had a few conversations with Ed. Hell of a guy. A lot of bourbon knowledge, and kind of what he wanted to do initially. You guys can go kind of research his story, but Ed really wanted to get a distillery up and going. And I don't know if you guys kind of realize this, but now's not really the time to be opening a distillery up.
Very true.
A lot of inventory out there. So what he decided to do was take a label and become an NDP, non-distilling producer, and just source some of the best whiskey that he can find. Not a lot's known about the product itself. I will say this, it's distilled in West Virginia, so do your research and you'll kind of back into who we think it is.
Correct.
But man, just puts out some banger products, really does. Excited to go into this one. Obviously, we've had a little bit out of this one. The second release. Talk a little bit about the mash bill real quick. Y'all know I'm big on this. Hand me that one, or look it up real quick.
For sure.
On the side of this. So the thing I love about what Ed does, everything is laid out here. So we're drinking 123.32 proof. This is bottle number 44 out of 175, and it is a wheated mash bill. It is also pot still bourbon, which Kurt, you and I, we kind of have a love-hate relationship with pot still. You can get some funk off of it, man. A lot of times you really will, but if it's done right, you'll get a lot of those characters coming through that's trace back to what pot still initially does.
Correct. A lot of your Texas whiskeys are pot still, and that may ruin a lot of people. Your Garrison Brothers, your Balcones, those kind of things are all pot still. Very, very distinct flavor profile, a lot of funk on some of them. Very much what I would consider an acquired taste a little bit, but still a lot of good products come out of pot still. But again, I think these, what, Tommy, 12, 15 barrels, something like this. We're
Yep.
drinking out of barrel SB 13W. I did good without any glasses on.
Yep.
175. So guys, you're talking about 1,700 bottles, something like that total come out of that run. So
Yep.
again, really something special if you get your hands on. Again, another shelfer here at Empty 14.
Absolutely.
This one is not a shelfer, but I'm sure after Tommy dips into it, it'll make its way to the common shelf. So
Yep.
thankful for him. Tommy's always supplying the good stuff, but it'll be on the shelf. So man, let's get a nose in this thing and see what we think.
Absolutely. So I love that we've had this one open a little bit. And the first thing you get when you open a pot still bourbon up, it's got to breathe, guys. There's no doubt about that. You've got to get some oxygen on it. You go in immediately, and you're going to get all of that. I call it funk. It's the best way I know to put it.
And you're not getting that one.
No,
you're not getting
no.
that off this one.
No, not at all.
Not the funk. I get a lot of orange peel right from the get-go.
Ton of citrus
A lot
right
of
off the
citrus
front.
on it.
Some tobacco and some leather in that too. Not a lot of caramel, not a lot of your traditional
No.
sweet notes, any of that. A lot of
Which is not uncommon for pot still.
exactly.
Which is not uncommon for pot still. It's not your typical caramel, but again,
I do love that dusty leather, and I think that's going to be traced back to that pot still, and kind of what they're going for on it. So,
right.
cheers.
Right.
Let's go in for a
Yeah,
pour.
cheers. Let's
see what
do
you
it.
think, man. Never disappoints.
I tell you, the first thing that I get off of it is it tastes nothing like what it smells like.
No.
You mentioned the leather and a little bit of the tobacco and a little bit of the roughness. I get a lot more of that on the palate than
yeah.
I do that citrus.
Yeah, the citrus goes away.
The citrus goes away.
There's no citrus on the mouthfeel at all. There's no citrus, front palate, mid palate, back palate.
Right.
Which is cool. That's what I love about bourbons. If the nose matches the palate all the time, it kind of gets boring.
It does.
It really does. You want to be thrown off your game a little bit.
One of the things that Ed was always kind of known for, and Tommy made mention of it earlier when he was doing work for his other companies, and again, this guy, I think, if I read right, and again, I did do a little homework, if I read right, this guy in 2017 was like Wild Turkey Single Barrel Buyer of the Year or something
100%.
like that.
100%.
So he's buying my personal favorite. I'm a huge Russell's Wild Turkey guy. One of the things I always appreciate the most about Russell's and Wild Turkey is how long it hangs with you.
That's right.
You always, and it's not necessarily that Kentucky hug. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it. You get the saliva.
That mouthfeel. Yeah, absolutely.
And you get. It's almost like your mouth wanting more kind of deal.
That viscosity just coats your mouth. And I think that's what Ed's really known for, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he picks bold bourbons, guys.
He does.
Nothing's hidden with anything. That's another thing I really love about it. It is full disclosure, minus where it was distilled. And I'm sure that's for copyright reasons, all of that, NDAs, all that fun stuff.
For sure.
But man, the mouthfeel on that is reminiscent of a lot of top end, single barrel bourbons. It just hangs with you.
I think that's the one thing. I think you hit nail on the head. You're not going to drink this bourbon and go, man, this is just kind of another run of the mill.
No.
You're
drinking something unique.
It's something bold,
That's right.
and something you're going to remember. But man, the saliva I get off that, just
Oh yeah, man, that back end, dude, it just keeps going and going and going. Front palate is pretty sweet. Wheated bourbons are going to do that to you. I think that's initially what you taste on a wheated bourbon on the front end with those. That mid palate dries out a little bit, which is great because the back end finish on that is just oily as it can be. Just coat your mouth, and like Kirk said, that saliva, dude, it just keeps you drooling. That's what keeps you coming back wanting more every time, to me at least.
And again, I know we talked about this at episode 1. Tommy and I's sweet spot is kind of that 115 plus. So I mean, this is hitting right where I like to be. We're drinking 123.32. Again, I tell you what, I did get off this just a little bit. And I know it's a wheated. Did you get a little bit of mint on that? I mean, just a little bit. But it was on the very, very back end.
Very back end.
Yeah.
So that second sip. So one hint that I'll give you guys that's worked for me through my bourbon journey and really appreciating different distilleries, different bourbons, different mash bills. the first sip is never what you make a judgment off of, guys. It takes your palate a sip or two, maybe even three, to really pick up on all those things. And everybody's palate's different, you know. Everybody's reaction to things is going to be completely different. But the core things about that are they're there for every run that I've had on Rising Tide, man. I mean, big bold flavors.
Yeah.
You definitely know you're drinking a bourbon.
Yeah.
You definitely know it's pot stilled without a shadow of a doubt, and
sure.
you know it's weeded.
For sure.
Those are the things you get. Outside of that, it's what you pick up, you know, off of it. But that mint on the back end, it's like right here.
Yeah.
Literally right there at the back of the jawline, and it almost tricks you into thinking you're drinking a rye there for a minute.
Or at least
man.
a high, at least a high rye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is not either one. This is not a rye or a high rye.
Exactly.
It does have some rye in the mash bill, but that's unique. But I do appreciate the boldness in this.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Which is the reason that we wanted to bring in the old Swagger. So there were 2 releases of Old Swagger this year. They had a 13-year bottle and bond. They also did a rye. This is the first time that Ed's released a rye out. They actually have 2 ryes. They have an Old Stubborn rye, which is single barrel, and they also have the bottle and bond rye. Because we're drinking bourbons, we didn't want to compare the 2. It's kind of unfair, I guess you could say.
Right.
But we thought we'd go in and kind of compare the Old Swagger versus the Old Stubborn. So release 2, this is release 3, the first time they've done a 13-year Old Swagger. So excited to get into this one, man.
Yeah, let's pour it up.
A little bit lower proof, guys, at 100 proof.
A little air on it.
I don't think that the barrel funk is going to be as prevalent with a 100 proof pour as it would be with a higher proof, especially being a blended product. But you're getting the same characteristics, you know, that you would with a single barrel. But I mean, even at that product right there, guys, I think MSRP on these was $140, $159-ish, roughly. And for a craft bourbon, man, that's super affordable, definitely. And just a tip, in the event that another release comes out in the coming months or next year.
That's what I was going to say. They're doing 2 a year, right?
2 a year is
drops
what
a year.
Ed has tried to do.
Right.
So their problem and why they had 4 bottle releases this time,
Correct.
They ran out of glass. That's what happened with the initial release. There were supposed to be 4 bottles that came out initially, but they couldn't get the glass. So Ed pulled those barrels back. I'm not sure if he took those out of the wood and put them in a vat container to stop. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to disclose that.
Right.
But it would serve to me to say that he left it in the wood, because we went from a 10 to 12 year age stated product to now we're at the 12 to 14 year with the single barrels and 13 year on the bottle and bond.
Correct.
So I think he left it aging and just continued to taste it and see where things were going with
The
it.
single barrel here is an MGP product. Other thing you got to appreciate about Ed, and I know Tommy and I have talked about this, and I think we've talked with you guys, and there's been some conversation in the clubhouse. Guys, I love this right here. Just tell me where it's from.
Tell me where it's from.
Just tell me where it's from.
That's right.
Ed's very open on the back. This one, product of West Virginia on the back. This one, distilled by MGP. He doesn't even say Indiana. He just tells you
says
right
MGP.
where it's from. So
And look, guys, I know a lot of people say, oh, it's not their own juice. They're sourcing juice. Look, MGP's been around for a long time. They put out some damn good drinks, man. A lot of their ryes, I think the MGP ryes are some of the best out there.
if not the best.
Yeah, they perfected that. They have.
Yep.
But I agree with you, Kirk. I think, putting it directly back there, distilled by MGP, shout out to those guys. I think that's awesome that he absolutely did that. And I mean, the packaging alone, man. I mean, if you're a collector or have a selection, it definitely looks good on your bar back. No doubt about that at all.
The running joke for a long time was, at least with a bunch of us, and I think in the market as a whole, was if you can't sell it, you put it in a box bag or tube and you can get rid of it. That's just not the case anymore. There's some really good stuff coming out of box bags and tubes now. So
correct.
But no, Tommy's right, man. If you need something to dress up the bourbon room a little bit, this is one that'll certainly do it. So.
And if you guys are ever interested, I think I've got a pretty good relationship with Ed that I built over the last couple of years. Had some good conversations with him, and have really built that relationship up with Brad, like you and Brooks did while y'all were up there.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll get first dibs on releases. I will tell you that. We've got a direct line getting in on that. So if you guys are ever interested, hit us up, let us know. We'll be glad to keep an eye out for when the next drops are. We'll keep you guys alert to that, and happy to help you out securing a bottle if you'd like to.
Guys, that's the other thing I know we've talked about. Tommy and I have talked about it. We've talked about it in the club here. Hey, another part of being a member of this club is, man, we're helping guys. Guys are helping us find bottles we're looking for. I know y'all know we've had some good club offerings come through the door in the last month or so. They've been snatched up pretty quick. We're going to do our best to get our hands on some more stuff at a reasonable price. I know that you may see some stuff out on the market that's a little cheaper than what we offer at the club, but y'all keep in mind, state of Mississippi does graciously give us a 27.5% increase that nobody else has.
Correct.
We get to pay to the state. So if you see something that's a little bit higher, that's the reason why. But look, $15-20, it's worth me to buy it to try to get it to you guys. I think Tommy feels the same way. But again,
Yep.
man, you guys, if you're out traveling this summer, if you're out on work trips, stop in some of these stores.
Man, yeah.
Make relationships. The guy over at Sprayberry, we talked about him last time, Bridge. We've kind of got some news on that front that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But y'all stop into these stores, or if you're going to be in a town, you think that Tommy may have a connection, or I may have a connection, or one of the other members has a connection. Y'all reach out. Let's try to help
Network.
Network.
Absolutely.
Grab some bottles. If you can get your hands on 6, 10, 12 bottles, buy them. Reach out to the club. Y'all are welcome to do that. So
Absolutely.
But
Let's go in on this one. Let's see what we think now.
Yeah,
We got a
absolutely.
little air on the
Cheers
edge.
up.
Cheers, buddy. It's 100 proof bourbon.
it's 100 proof bourbon. It's
Super sweet. Super sweet.
super sweet. I did get just a little bit of, and it may be neck pour more than it is funk. I did get a little bit of the neck
Oh,
pour
yeah.
on it, just a little
Oh, yeah.
bit. I'd
You
like-
noticed I gave him the neck. I didn't take that, so.
of course, that's
Yeah,
always the way it
see.
works.
You gotta love your friends,
We obviously
man.
won't sit here for an hour and let this open up, but I'd love to let this open up for 30, 45 minutes and then go back and revisit. It's really, really good. Drinks like 100 proof. It really
does.
does. It drinks like 100 proof.
Caramel
bomb.
bomb.
It is.
On the front end, man. That
It is.
front palate, real akin to you get the Penelope products, man. I mean, it's that without being overly sweet on the back end. It's front end, then it dissipates a little bit, and you get some of that bourbon characteristics. Again, dries out mid palate, which I think is great.
Yep.
Doesn't coat as good as the Old Stubborn.
100
But I mean,
proof.
100 proof
It's
bourbon.
100 proof.
You don't. You
We're
don't
still
expect
amateurs
that.
at this. Had we thought this through a little bit, we would have drank the 100 proof first, then the 123. We're still learning. We're still rookies. So 123, 100, it kind of tastes like water a little bit. It tastes like sweet water, but it's
I didn't
really,
think about that. So
it's really, really good. Not nearly as complex like you
No.
would expect.
But man, a solid pour
man, two
for a bottle like
really,
that.
really good offerings.
And here's what's great. I mean, it's two completely different
No
profiles.
Doubt. No doubt.
Completely different profiles.
What do we say? 250-ish, 230, 250?
I think the single barrels were $239, and I
Okay.
think this one was either $159 or $169 on the blended.
Guys, I tell you what.
product. I mean, hell, it's $30 in bottle alone.
That's what
man.
I was going to say,
yeah.
but I mean, we've drank some others that are at this price point too that aren't nearly as good as
Oh,
this
no.
one. So you run up on this for $150, $60.
You buy it.
It's a buyer.
You buy it all day long.
Yeah.
The thing I do love about that for you guys that aren't, just higher proof people, dude, I would put this up against any 100 proof bottle and bond product, and I'm including the other one that comes in a yellow tube that you can compare to. I think it's going to outplay that all day long. It's more complex. To me, it just is.
Are you talking about the Yellow Tube BTAC product that maybe
Correct.
came out this year?
Correct. It maybe came out this year. You can spend $2,000 on that, or you can spend $170 on this.
That's what I
know
was
which
gonna
one
say.
I would do.
And I like this tube better. It's bigger anyway, but
Correct.
It's anyway.
Man.
That's another
So-
conversation for another day.
Go back into the single barrel
Yep.
real quick. Now that we've had a little 100
Yep.
proof on that palate, let's
Yep.
just see. Man,
Did we do them in the wrong order?
I think we did, but I will tell you, I think if you want 100 proof first, I honestly think that 123, 125, your brain is going to go, all right, palate shocked on this.
Right.
And I don't know that you would pick up all the nuances in there. Like, I'm sitting there talking, I'm drooling, man.
Yeah.
That one just
that's the thing about
coats.
that one. It does.
And what's funny, like you said, that mint is so prevalent now on that back end. now that your brain thinks about it and you're processing through that second or third sip, it's phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
2 great pours from 1 great master blender. Guys, Kirk and I are big on this, single barrels, and non-distilling producers, I think, are some of the best values in bourbon nowadays. Yeah. We can all chase the tater bottles, and a lot of them are good, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I do think there are better values with craft products out there, even a blended craft product that you can spend your money on that's better. I will say that.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, and I kind of started going that direction probably, I don't know, 9 months ago, something like that, when we really started seeing an uptick in the market of bourbons that were coming out that we weren't seeing so much. Yeah. And now that's really exploded, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute.
Oh yeah.
But man, your smaller boutique distilleries that now have access to product they probably didn't have access to, say 3-5 years, certainly not 3 or 5 years ago, that now maybe they can buy source use they couldn't buy back then.
Correct.
And they can put their touch on it. Man, there is some really, really fantastic stuff coming out of some of these boutique distilleries. It really is.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. And dude, I'll tell you, this is a hat tip to Ed. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. He was #1 picker of turkey juice back in the day.
Yeah.
What better distillery to cut your teeth on picking single barrels than Turkey? I mean, if you're a Turkey fan, they vary greatly, man. I mean, it can depend on warehouse to warehouse, age statements. Even 2 years on a Russell's pick makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
A lot of difference,
Incredibly
man.
lot of difference.
So this guy's palate has got to be just impeccable, at this point.
No,
so
for sure.
would love to talk to him, love to pick his ear a little bit. Sure. I've only fangirled with him a little bit, and told him how good his juice is, and had some good conversations, and heard him out on where he wanted to be. I think he's exactly where he needs to be at this point. I think he's got a place in the market that is phenomenal. And I'll, shameless plug, man. If you see these, pick them up. You won't be disappointed without a shadow of a doubt.
I agree with that.
And what a conversation bottle too, Kurt.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
How many other people have those sitting on the shelves, man?
That one's going to draw as much attention as the one that's in a little velvet baggie with a horse shooting out of the top of it when people get to your house.
Correct.
So
absolutely.
We've laughed about that a time or two. Blanton's not my jam. I don't think it's Tommy's jam, but man, you throw that on your shelf, your novice bourbon friends come over.
Oh, they'll freak out.
They think you really got something.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, no knock against Blanton's. Good bottle. Just give me all the straight from the barrel they got.
Correct. And let's call it a day.
Y'all can have the rest of it.
That's it. So let's talk a little bit about kind of where bourbon's at right now.
Yeah,
you hit on this earlier, man. I don't know if you guys have been watching some of the releases of Buffalo Trace and what they put out here lately, but I'll say this: quit overpaying for CYPB. Quit overpaying for any product that comes out of Buffalo Trace. Patience is key at this point. They restocked shelves for almost 7 hours on Father's Day at Buffalo Trace.
Yes, they did.
And they had enough CYPB that they could have housed a bottle in every house in North America, it seems like.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all saw the video I dropped. If you didn't, jump over and check it out real quick. CBS Sunday Morning. Jane Pauley. I didn't even know Jane Pauley was still alive. Jane Pauley's still alive. She has a show called CBS Sunday Morning.
Yep.
Had no idea until stumbled upon a little clip. But they had a really good video on this past Sunday morning. I've shared it on our page. Y'all go check it out because it's a topic of conversation, and there's some differing opinions even within our group about the direction of bourbon right now. I'll play spoiler real quick, but please go watch the video. It's 3.5 minutes. It's not going to burn up a lot of your time. There are now, Tommy, you've seen the video. If y'all have not watched the movie Neat, watch Neat on Amazon. Great film. They interviewed Jimmy Russell in that. I think Jimmy, this was done 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, right at 5 years ago. 2021.
Like 2021.
Yep.
At that time, they interviewed Jimmy at the end of the video. Jimmy says, 2 million people in Kentucky. I'm sorry, there's 4 million people. I think it's right. 4 million people in Kentucky. We've got 8 million barrels of whiskey aging in the state. That's 2 for every man, woman, and child in the state of Kentucky.
Barrels.
I'm sorry. Barrels.
Barrels. That's right.
Barrels. Sunday, CBS Sunday mornings, that number is now up to 16 million barrels of whiskey aging in Kentucky.
Which brings to the whole point of what that interview said. So if you guys watch that, again, a little spoiler here, one of the largest distilleries is shut down. They have cut off distilling.
At one facility.
At one facility.
At their main facility.
At their main facility. At the
Yep.
hardest working.
The hardest working steel in
America.
is
So
shut down.
It is shut down
All of
completely.
2026.
And could go into 2027. You know, they've got plans to refire it back up. But, guys, it just tells me that they overproduced during the time where the boom was there. Thankfully, we're seeing that bubble burst a little bit for us guys that love good bourbon, love good juice, want to get our hands on great allocated products out here. I think patience is the key at this point right now in the bourbon game.
Patience is definitely the key, and I'm going to say that trickle may stop at a certain couple of distilleries because the argument is we've had to slow production, sales have decreased, and then CYPB morning at Buffalo Trace, Father's Day morning, the Kentucky Highway Patrol was having to
direct traffic,
and I think they were backed up a mile or a mile and a half. And like Tommy said, they restocked till everybody left, and they still had stock.
Correct. If you wanted a bottle, you got a bottle right there.
Correct.
You know, in CYPB, 2 years ago, guys, like I was that guy. I'll raise my hand and say it.
$600-700.
Absolutely, and I paid it for it because I wanted to complete my rainbow.
Sure.
And had no problem doing that. And
and look, we're not picking on Buffalo Trace.
Oh no.
Yesterday, Father's Day. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day.
Yep.
Elijah Craig 21, I think, lasted till about 3:00 yesterday afternoon. So they're not the only ones that
they're absolutely.
They're not the only ones with all the product. And again, we're not throwing shade at any of these distilleries, but again, just it's a real.
It's just facts. It's facts.
I tend to agree with Kevin C. Bourbon Notes. If you haven't seen him on TikTok, go check him out. I'm with Kevin C. I think this opens the doors for a lot of boutique guys to just blow the doors off.
100%. So the small craft distilleries, like what we have right here in Mississippi.
Sure.
I think about Matt Crittenden, man.
Sure.
A lot of cool releases coming out from him. He's pushing the envelope on what traditional bourbon is, and kind of what that looks like. But even the non-distilling producers, man. I mean, dude, there's so many barrels out there right now. Can you imagine the crazy things that are going to come out in the next 2 years?
And again, the people that didn't source, now having to source to move our juice, to be able to keep people employed, to be able to fire stills back up.
Yep.
So a lot of those boys that, hey, we don't source our juice.
Now you do.
Now you call these guys up saying, how many barrels can we sell you?
That's right.
So.
And you're seeing a lot of things like that within all the distilleries. It's not just Wild Turkey, Buffalo Trace, or any Sazerac brands out there.
Right.
You've got a lot of the big boys that are sourcing their juice now to non-distilling producers to see what they can do.
Right.
Which I think is cool. It's going to bring another whole evolution into what bourbon is.
Right.
And how long is too long to age a barrel of bourbon? Kirk and I've got our opinion. That 14, 15, 16 years is kind of my ceiling on everything. But, do you rebarrel it? Do you blend it? Like, what are the cool things you can do with certain barrels that are produced out, from certain distilleries?
Sure.
Like, I think there's just a lot of fun things coming. But I also think there's going to be a lot more fun times for us guys that like to have a selection to where if you're patient, you're going to be able to get those bottles that you want at a lot better price than what you've been able to in the past.
Well, and I think the other thing it's going to do too, well, I don't know that it's going to do it. I think what it does is it makes the guys like Barstown Bourbon Company, the guys that have been sourcing all along, the Bartons of the world. It makes them look brilliant because they're almost like, well, we knew this was coming.
They were way ahead of the game.
Where Sazerac was not, or where Buffalo Trace was not, or where Wild Turkey was not. We don't source our juice kind of deal. And now, I'm not saying Turkey's going to have to start sourcing their juice because go look at the price of Goldful.
Exactly.
They're far from having to source, but I do think there's some distilleries that are going to have to take a step back and kind of be like, guys, how do we move some product?
But I will tell you, there are NDPs out there right now that are getting their hands on good turkey barrels.
Oh, for sure.
Look at what River Roots is doing, guys. Sure. Do some research into them. Yep. There are some great barrels that are coming out of there that are lost or forgotten or off-profile barrels versus what Turkey traditionally puts out.
And that was probably the wrong way to say it. Not that they have to. Turkey has chosen in the past to source some barrels.
Correct.
I'm talking about getting to the point to where you have to be able to keep people employed or free up room in a rick house.
That's the room is, I think, the biggest thing, man. Like, if you got that much bourbon, I mean, there's only so many rick houses. There's only so many ricks in a rick house.
Yeah, they don't build those things overnight.
Exactly. So I think patience is a virtue. It's key at this point. Lean on your buddies. Try something different. That's what we keep. That's the common theme of what we want to talk to you guys about.
For sure.
Especially all our club members and anybody else. try something different.
Yeah.
You know, step outside the bounds of what you currently like, man. You never know what you're going to find that's eye-opening or worthwhile in checking out. You may find a rabbit hole you want to dive down like we have with certain things. You know, it's all in how you take it, and it's all in what you like and what you want, man.
Yeah. No, great points. Other news in bourbon world, I guess we've got a few things that are still kind of bubbling. We got one. We are not chirping at each other. Your club has some bird in the fireplace, although Tommy and I thought we had the damper closed. And they may be sitting on top of the damper.
They probably
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
That's not us chirping at each other.
No.
That's your local club birds. They're proud to be members also.
Kurt's going to feed them later.
That's it. That's it. I hope they like chicken wings.
Yeah.
Other bourbon news. We've got a lot of stuff that's bubbling, that's still kind of out there. I guess we'll start local and kind of work our way up. Uncle Nearest.
Yep.
The saga drags on. As some of y'all may know, and I'll give you 30 seconds and Tommy can chip in. A lot of you guys know Uncle Nearest, the product made in Tennessee, owned by a lady and her husband. From New York, fell on some financial hard times. I guess that'd be the best way to put it.
That's the nicest way to put it. Yeah.
Possibly some bank fraud and other things involved in there. Hey, look, whatever.
Read into it, decide for yourself.
Anyway, they have been under, I guess conservatorship is the right word for it.
Yep.
Conservator has apparently reached an agreement to sell the distillery. From what I understand, it looks like it's going to another minority-owned group. Not a lot of information out there about it right now, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Uncle Nearest. One, the name.
Oh, exactly.
Two, the legacy.
Yeah.
And three, the juice.
The juice.
Because you've had the juice.
Yeah.
The juice is not bad.
No.
It's not,
and the story's great.
The story's incredible.
It's a label that needs its place in, in the bourbon world, and it needs its space in the shelves at all the local liquor stores, no doubt. But it's got to be... it's got to be run better. I'm going to put it that way. It definitely has to be. But yeah, the ties. If you go back and read the history with Uncle Nearest,
it's crazy.
Oh man, it's amazing.
Crazy.
I mean, it really is. It has its place in bourbon lore without a shadow of a doubt.
And look, not because I'm in love with their juice. I really do hope they find a spot.
Oh, without a doubt.
They get it all worked out, but they've got a lot of hurdles to
Absolutely.
overcome. But this is about a 6-month deal now. It looked like foreclosure. Looked like the brand was going away. Everybody was casting lots on where it was going to land, and looks like now it may be saved. So y'all stay tuned for that story. But again, on the shelf here, Empty 14. If you hadn't tried Uncle Nearest, give it a try. It's not bad juice at all.
I'll also tell you guys, if you jump out and your local liquor store has got any bottles of Uncle Nearest hanging out there, buy them up, guys. Because who knows what that mash bill is going to look like going forward. Are they going to honor that tradition? Are they going to keep it in place?
For sure.
It's kind of like the old... the distillery in Tennessee, man, that exchanged hands. The Green Brothers bought them and then sold them.
Nelson's Greenbrier.
Nelson's Greenbrier.
Right. Yeah, Nelson's Greenbrier. That's an interesting story as well. That's the old Belle Meade that we talked about last time. Belle Meade's back on your shelf. It's got it's got a lot of MGP juice in it now.
Yeah, it's nowhere near what it was. No blight to them, but it's just different.
They're working their way back. They've got the ownership back, so great brand. But again, I hope Uncle Nearest finds their path. And I guess the other biggest news that we've been talking about for the last 120 days, 160 days. What's going to happen with Sazerac and Brown-Forman?
Correct.
There's I can think of 750 million good reasons. No, I'm sorry, more than that.
Yeah.
How much? 15 billion.
15
I'm
billion.
sorry.
15 billion reasons.
750 million is what Four Roses was just sold for.
Correct.
Correct. Four Roses just sold to E&J Gallo, $750 million, bought from the Japanese.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see what E&J Gallo is going to do with Four Roses. That'll be, if y'all know much about E&J, they kind of like living on those bottom two.
They do.
Four Roses used to live on the bottom two. Four Roses kind of went to the top.
Yep.
So we'll see now what E&J Gallo decides to do with Four Roses. But 15 billion reasons.
The whole Brown-Forman thing to me is one that's a head scratcher at this point because the bigger keep getting bigger is kind of what it gets to at this point.
Yeah.
And I live in a world, and so does Kirk, where monopolies do exist, and we don't like monopolies. I don't think monopolizing the bourbon industry
Right.
is a great thing for consumers at this point. I think there's a lot of history at Brown-Forman, obviously, with the brands. Kind of look at what Jack Daniels has done the last few years, man. While everybody else is playing checkers, they've been playing chess, dude.
Well, and everybody's kind of scratching their head going, what does Sazerac really gain? Or why would Sazerac?
Correct.
Y'all know what they're after. They want Jack Daniels. You know,
That's it.
That's what they want from Brown-Forman.
Yeah,
I'm with Tommy.
That's the market share. Like King of Kentucky at Brown-Forman is, You know, everybody chases those bottles. They're great. Whatever you get them, they're wonderful. It is good juice. Don't get me wrong. But they're after the labels at Jack Daniels.
Correct.
That's it.
And they're not after the Jack Daniels American label. They want the international
That's
label.
right.
You know,
That's
as much Jack Daniels is sold in the United States, I think we're 5th or 6th, way
Yeah.
down
way
the
down
Jack
the
list. You know, more Jack is sold internationally than any other whiskey, and I think several whiskeys combined than any other whiskey on the planet.
Well, I'll give you a case in point on this. I'm going to ask you a point of question here,
sure,
Kirk. So,
sure.
how much Old Number 7 have you drank in the last decade?
Well, I've been out of college exactly a long damn time. So
See my point, guys?
not much.
No.
Not much.
The market for Jack Daniels is 100% international.
Sure.
Like, that's where the bulk load of their product is enjoyed out. If you put a number 7 in front of me, I'm going to smile at you and ask you for a Coke.
Yeah.
Okay? Just being brutally honest with you.
Right.
Now, their releases, dude, they've hit a home run on everything they've done.
Right.
We've got several releases sitting up here, you know, on the shelves at Empty 14 that we want you guys to enjoy too. You know, and I was one of those guys when they first started doing the releases. It was like, I don't care. I'm not going to drink those.
Same.
Because
Same.
all I have is flashbacks of Oxford, the Grove, and 2 o'clock in the morning and hugging a shrub I didn't need to hug. You know?
Headache and a bad
headache
decision.
and a bad decision. That's
right.
exactly right.
That's right.
But
So
it's going to be interesting to see where that comes out at, man.
That was going to be real interesting to see.
And
So-
if it's even going to be approved, I mean, the word is they're saying it's going to be approved out.
I just don't know how you take a product of that size on and maintain what you're doing. And maybe we're already seeing a shift. And look, Tommy and I, we'll jump around because I know the video's getting kind of long. We'll jump around just a little bit. But guys, if y'all hadn't watched Bruzel and some of these other hunting videos, y'all jump out there and watch those, because let me tell you, I'm not a huge Bruzel guy. Tommy's not either. We appreciate him out traveling, showing us, so we don't all have to get out and go do it. I appreciate what he does.
Yep.
But y'all watch his videos and look at the stuff that he's finding now. And I'm not talking about, hey, I need you to, you know, whisper the secret code and, you know, go past the guy that's got a pet tiger to get to the where it is. Guys, it's sitting on the shelf, and he may have to ask for it, but again, not to play spoiler alert, y'all watch this week's video. Y'all watch what he buys and the price he buys it for. And Tommy hadn't even seen it yet.
Yep.
I'm going to show him after we get off this video. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I think Tommy hit the nail on the head earlier. Be patient.
Yep.
Be patient. Be smart with what you're buying. Identify what you want, what you need. If you can't find it, let somebody in the club know.
Yep.
And let us help you locate it. But again, guys, I think there are some bottles out there which, because of where we are state restricted, we're probably not going to get to see, unfortunately, the Eagle 12s and some of the other stuff we're trying to bring in.
You mean the Shelfer?
Yeah, which is going
Eagle
to
Rare
be a
12,
shelfer.
Shelfer.
That's
Yeah,
what
Shelfer.
That's what they said when they released it. It'll be a shelfer.
I haven't seen it on the shelf anywhere
6
yet.
months it'll be a shelfer, and it may very well be, but it will not be a shelfer in the state of Mississippi ever.
Nope.
Guaranteed. But y'all watch those videos. Watch what these guys are finding. I guess in Empty 14 news, Tommy has released. Tommy, thank God, took it upon himself. We have planned dates out further.
Yep.
We tried to get on you guys' calendar. Tommy, appreciate you doing that.
Sure, man.
So great meeting last week.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Really awesome meeting last week.
Great engagement. And for all you guys that came out, man, thank you. That
15, 17.
Oh, we had 17 people here.
Yeah,
at that.
I mean, it was a big crowd.
And grew that night, too. We actually picked up some new members
Yeah.
that we'll send some welcomes out to. We've already been in the text thread on that.
Yeah.
We heard you guys loud and clear on how you want the communications done, so text is the best way to do it.
Looks like it's working well.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're getting good engagement there. But, man, any of these events, you know, please make it a point to come out. Guys, we're going to crack some crazy bottles. As a matter of fact, what you missed last week, I'll just put it out there for you so you know. We killed off a Wild Turkey 16-year Gold Foil. And one of the funnest nights I've had in bourbon in a long time.
We had a lot of fun.
Shout out to my boy Randy Groover, who got the last sip of it. And I did not feel
He
bad
planned it
about
that
it
way.
all.
He planned it that
He
way.
planned it. I
No
did,
doubt.
and Groover did too.
Nice
He
play,
showed up
Groover.
last.
Nice play.
We know what you do, Groover. But man, it felt so good killing a bottle off like that. A lot of good stories told, a lot of fun times had surrounding that bottle. And I couldn't think of a better group of guys to share it with. We just had another board member walk in, so we're going to make him get on camera real quick.
That's right.
Mr.
Get,
Bobby Bascom, y'all welcome him in right here.
What's up, Bobby?
Hey, Bobby?
Only a few hours late, but hey, when it comes to good bourbon and good fellas, better late than never.
That's what
right.
it's all about,
That's right.
man. That's it, dude.
But no, guys, we appreciate y'all. Appreciate last week. Last week was a lot of fun. We are here to watch the College World Series, Game 2. No, Game 3.
Game 3. This is
This
it.
is it.
All right,
This is
so
it.
I'm putting you on the spot right here. Who you pulling for?
Give me NC. I'm going
All
against
right.
the SEC.
All right.
Give me NC.
Okay, is this?
We already know the question,
Wait,
but I cannot wait to
Did you
get it.
just ask a Duke guy?
I
Can
did.
we curse on
I
this?
did. You can.
Oh, man.
Little bit.
Anybody but fucking UNC.
See, there we go. All right. It's going to be 2 against 1. Give me UNC, go Tar Heels, Rams, whatever the hell you are.
I'm not saying go Heels. I'm just saying I think they beat Oklahoma tonight.
I do too. I think the pitching is going to be more. Now,
Yeah.
selfishly, I would love to see Oklahoma win this one. My Rebs did put them out in 22, so, shameless plug there, hotty toddy, baby. It'll be
Bobby
a
doesn't
great
have a
game.
stool, and I have not seen this video, so if you can't see Bobby's head, I swear to God, this is Bobby Bascom. If he got cut off right here, sorry. Anyway.
Well, guys,
But,
to end it out, thank y'all for all you do. You make the club what it is.
Yep. Awesome.
We plan on more of these. We're going to get some members involved in this at our next one. We want to get some more tastings in. Guys, if you're a member here and you want to know, about some of the bottles we've got on the shelf, ask.
Yep.
Just ask questions, man.
For sure.
If there's anything that you want to try that you've not tried, I can damn near promise you we have it on the shelf in here. If not here, it's going to be, back in the vault room. We're happy to pull anything out, let you guys have a sip of anything, man.
That's right.
Yep.
Guys,
Guys,
made
anything
to be
else?
drank.
Huh? It's made to be
made to
drank.
be drank.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Other than that, cheers. You guys have a great
Cheers,
week.
boys.